toes out, about to ground, and just enjoy my day off today. And I decided to go live. Kick my shoes off while I'm out here walking. Oh, come on in. Don't be scared. Welcome, welcome. I'm almost to one of those little shelters or whatever. But I just took my shoes off, and there's some porcupines or whatever these are. Not porcupines. But these are like little mines walking on them. Ah, I'm almost there though. Makes me think of that. Oh, shit. That mines game on the computer. Be careful where you step. It may not look. Okay, I could have put my shoes back on, but I'm grounded. Set up my phone. I can go this way. All right. Thank you for joining. I'm at the park today. You gonna sit down and talk with me? Sorry, it's so close up. How you doing? It's windy out here and everything. I'm just off today. Decided to go live. I haven't been live in about 2 weeks, a week. So, but anyway, as you can see, a lot to talk about today. So much going on, not only in our current events, but so much also going on in our day-to-day lives as we also make shifts and transitions as we are in these uncertain times. With that being said, today I have went to my local farm store. Y'all, let me tell you. Let me get situated. I want to be comfortable when I tell this story because so funny. So funny. So I have been watching videos. I've been doing a little research on ivermectin. I don't know if you know what ivermectin is, but ivermectin is a dewormer paste. It's a paste that you give horses, typically horses that are older than, I think, 3 months old, 2 or 3 months old. They have to be a certain age. Anyway, you give horses a dewormer after a certain age, and you have to give them these dewormers every so often to, keep their systems clean, keep their hair very shiny, just to make sure that they don't get sick, So anyway, humans have been taking ivermectin. Ivermectin kills any type of ringworms, tapeworms, bots that may be in your body. Yes, I said bots, okay? Yes, bots that are in your body, and it says it on the box, okay? So I was doing my research, and I was like, oh, I'm a little nervous. I ain't never bought this before, and it seems like it's such a hot topic, and I just didn't know how normal or regular of a thing it was where I live. So I go into my local farm store trying to be incognito today. Like, excuse me, where is, the ivermectin? And the lady's like, excuse me? like, girl, speak up. So I was like, the dewormer. And so she says, you mean the ivermectin? And I said, yeah. And she says, just say that. And I said, is that normal? And she says, yeah, it's normal for people to buy the ivermectin. People come in all the time and buy it. And I said, oh, okay. Well, I was doing my research, and I thought it was more of a hotter. And she was like, no, people buy it all the time. People take dewormers all the time. You got to clean your system all the time. And I'm thinking, but nobody really talks about this. And she's like, no, it's normal. So I go and I get the box. It was $21.99. I don't know how much it's going to cost at your local store. I'm not suggesting that you go buy it. I'm not asking you to go buy it. I'm not recommending you to go buy it. Sorry if the wind is pretty loud on the mic. I'm not recommending you do anything. I'm not suggesting you do anything. I am not encouraging you to do anything. What I'm saying to you is what I went and did this morning. Well, what I went and did this morning, being like, excuse me, like you can't see me. Yes, she can. She heard everything I said, and she was like, "Girl, people buy it all the time. Chill out." So, hey, what's up, Vanilla Gorilla? What's up? And so I was like, okay. So she gets on the freaking loudspeaker and was like, "So and so, can you come up to the front desk for ivermectin?" And I was like, "Girl, no, you didn't." Because I'm in here trying to be like, don't nobody know what I'm buying. Okay, but it's not even that deep. So anyway, I'm going to show you the box later on. I'm putting together a little vlog, whatever. But anyway, so I went and got it. I was a little nervous because they give you enough for a 1,250 pound Y'all, I am flipping out today from just this experience. So anyway, they give you enough for a 1,250 pound horse, and you have to only take enough for your body weight. So yes, you do have to calculate from all of that. Neither here nor there. I take it. You put it at the back of your throat. Dang, the one just picked up all of a sudden. I'm gonna let it calm a little bit. How y'all doing? Hey, what up, King God, Muhammad Usman, excuse me. Shakai, Salman, hey, how y'all doing? Thank you for joining me today. The wind is blowing so crazy, so my apologies, I wanted to slow down. So with that being said, I took it about 2 hours ago, okay? So you put it at the back of your throat. I'm listening for the wind, right? And immediately, like, the lights come on, like, not in a way of like it's disgusting, but in a way of like, what is that? Like, so I'm 2 hours in now, and the only way I can explain it is like I have a sensation at the back of my tongue, in my abdomen, and certainly in my intestines, right? I've never dewormed ever in my life. I am 42 years old. I eat a moderately healthy to healthy diet, meaning I am not vegetarian or vegan or anything at all, but I mostly eat a Mediterranean diet. I have a sugar issue. I love sweets, right? So I have a thing for dates and like dark chocolate. So anyway, my health overall is good to excellent, right? But I knew that, let me also back up a little bit. I knew that, in order to have the healthiest version of yourself, you can't have parasites, and you certainly can't have bots in your body. And so as I begin to not only age, but just recognize more and more how poor our food system, whether it's from, food coming from the farms to foods going through the grocery stores, through foods going through processing centers, all of it's really compromised, right? We don't know how much plastic is in it. We don't know how much metal is in it. We don't know how it's handled or cared for. And it's just so that I can be more, proactive about my own health. That's why I'm not encouraging anyone to do, ooh, my stomach is rumbling. And it's not even like rumbling like, ooh, I gotta go to the bathroom. But it's like, it feels like somebody's massaging my intestines, literally. And that's why I'm live right now. Like, I'm on live for this reason. So anywho, going back to it, I think that, you can ask your government, you can ask your job, You can ask, whomever employs you for certain benefits like healthcare, retirement. You can ask them for all these things that come with your benefits package, right? Insurances, whatever. But at the end of the day, the primary responsible person for you is going to be you. And so if I'm putting foods in my mouth, no matter who supports me in my financial journey of supporting, like at the end of the day, if I don't get the ringworms, bots, parasites, tapeworms, if anything's on the food, if I don't get it, I can't function the best way that I can function. I'm sick, I'm tired, I'm fatigued, I'm overwhelmed, I'm frustrated, I'm triggered easily. I have hormonal issues, chemical issues, like all these problems because of not making sure I have a clean vessel. So that's why I took it. So anyway, that's why I took it. Thank you. I appreciate that. So I do have glowing skin. Let me also give another plug. That's what I was meaning to go back to. I do take microcellular nutrition. Okay. So I do have, again, have a good nutrition plan, right? I could do better about working out. I'm sure most people could. Everybody can get their 10,000 steps, right? Okay. Moving on with that. Overall, as far as what I put in my body, I do take microcellular nutrition. That is where I take a spray 2 times a day, 4 sprays. It's 44 plant extracts into which they communicate with my telomeres, which is my stem cells. And so the reason why you see my skin glowing is because 1, I take microcellular nutrition, and 2, I drink or eat turmeric every single day. So the orange you see in the turmeric is the orange you see in my skin. And I'm not even gonna hold you on that. That is facts, real life. It is not somebody's products. It is not somebody's concoction. It is not nothing I bought on the market. If you want to have glowing skin, you need to have turmeric and black pepper somewhere in your diet every single day, period. You want to look like you got a tan every single day? Turmeric, black pepper, every single day. That's it. Oh yeah, health is wealth, man. But the reason why you have to take care of your health, I don't know where you from, King. Where you from? Let me tell you, when you are of our people in our community, and you see people for generations, multiple generations, go in and out of hospital for things that we really could have prevented, somewhere in the line, somebody's got to say, not me. If anywhere in there I can prevent myself from having that experience, if I could have learned anything from them, even if it's something that you don't do, let me take the lesson in which I don't have to have the hardship. Let me learn early on so I don't have to suffer later. Because, I'd rather experience the discipline now than having the discipline of having to go in and out of any type of clinic or hospital for any type of services. I'm just saying. So, sometimes I don't do lives. And the reasons why I don't do lives is because I try to break up my life a little bit, in which I don't talk about trauma all the time. But I took some time away from doing lives so I could do this right here. So the real I see you, I read it, okay? I'm not going to sell you anything at all, okay? But what I'm going to tell you is you are not a victim. You've never been a victim. But that is a word that you are now choosing to apply to an experience you had in which you describe your point of view. When you are ready to stop claiming that point of view, instead of being the victim, you can say, I am the victor, or you can say, someone perpetrated on me, but I am healed. You can claim whatever position in the story that you want. So as long as you claim that, I can't take it away from you, honey. And the only help that I can offer you is that you're going to have to reframe your story by reshaping your mind. And you do that by stepping away from telling that story all the time. You can't tell the story all the time. And then anytime you do tell the story, you got to tell it from a different position. You can't always tell the same story from the same position, because otherwise you didn't learn from the lesson either. You didn't learn from the story either. You didn't learn from the experience either. You just carrying around the energy of whomever gave you some energy that you didn't want. You just holding on to it, and it ain't serving you no more. If you didn't tell, if you didn't get help, if you didn't, say it then, I can't do nothing about it now, honey. You're gonna have to do something for yourself. Well, I'm glad you're trolling, because it's a lesson and a learning point for everybody. Because see, like I said, I don't have to respond, but at the same time, you ain't got to troll. But somebody might need their help today. Yes, somebody can steal their will upon me. Yes, yep, and then impose. It's different ways you can say stuff, because you know what, your words, your sound that comes out of your mouth. See, this is why people got to quit playing on the internet. Let's also talk about that, and then we're gonna talk about the USA and China tariffs, okay? Because if you want to get a bag, let's talk about getting a bag, okay? So, with that being said, I am so confused. I guess an old soul and an old person at this point. I know I was born in the 80s, but the stuff y'all do online today, in real life, those were no's. Who you playing with? Who face do y'all be playing it? Because the reality of it is, because you are behind the safety of your keyboard or your phone and your technology, you don't know who people really are. See, you see me, I glow, right? And you see me and I speak softly, and you see me and I speak about things that are uplifting and powerful, and yes, how to get rid of trauma and how to let go of things. But what you don't know is, not too long ago, not only would I have cussed you out, but I might even have laid hands on you. And even on this computer, I would have said things to you that would have not only blown your mind, but had you contemplating your own self. Why? Because I have been around trauma. I've been around people who have experienced things that they couldn't let go of. And not only that, I had experienced my own trauma, in which I had to get better myself. So because I have evolved, because I have matured, because I went through my maturation process, you are now getting this elevated version of me. But at any given time, baby, at any given time, you don't know who you dealt with. So be careful. Be mindful. Do something better with your time, which is this. If you're going to be online, get money online, because trolling me ain't going to make you no money. But speaking to me, engaging with me, that will get you some money. So what you can do is go to store.iLift for life, ILIFT FORLIFE, iLiftforlife.com, and you can go get you some freebies, and you can go ahead and buy some things on there too, because whatever you buy from me, you're gonna make some money. I said what I said. That's what's up. And King God, I don't know, to even put that name, to label yourself as that means you're a warrior. That means you're very analytical, you're strategic, you're a creator, you're vibrant. You are things that we can't even say, because it's a being, it's a presence. Okay. And you think I'm just talking about somebody online. I'm talking about anybody I wrote with. Like I said, y'all don't know who I am. I'm sharing it with you, but don't troll me. Don't troll me, baby. First of all, just because I live in Kansas don't mean I'm not all the way Mississippi on you, okay? So when I talk to you, and I talked about taking turmeric, or I talk about taking any type of herbs like sages, or go and get some basil, or going in your backyard and getting some dandelions, if I'm talking to you about it, it's because I know about it. Don't let this fool you. I'm all the way roots, okay? I'm all the way homegrown. I'm all the way thorough, baby. Because I was made like that, built like that, raised like that, birthed like that. Whew, this wind got me. Do you though? Do you though? Yes, definitely. If you see dandelions, don't be listening to them people spraying those flowers. Do not go spray those flowers. Do not kill something that can heal you. Do not kill something that can assist you. Do not kill something that can give you life. Y'all quit putting those pollutants and pesticides and herbicides and all that stuff on your yard. Why do you think dogs go outside and eat grass? If the dog don't feel good, the dog even know to go eat the grass, and we don't have enough sense. We thinking we doing something, having a nice yard, and we killing life that can help us. Dandelion, you can make it into a tea. It's good for women. It's good for our digestive systems, and it's also good for our pituitary gland. If you have cramps, if you have any type of uterine issue, so they can settle their stomach. Yes, okay, they throw up. That's the process. It's just like you go and you taking castor oil, or you taking fish oil. You're going to get something that's going to agitate your digestive system, so you're going to excrete whatever is in your body that does not belong. That's why you take anything. You want food is medicine. That's the point. But if we have the wrong food and we are not even growing our own food, we're going to always be sick or diseased or uncomfortable. So, anywho, moving on. Let's talk about China. And they have the little joker. Let us also be clear about China. China has a little joker. I don't care how much debt the USA has. China will always have the little joker. And I saw their TikToks from the distribution centers. I don't know if anybody saw them. The distribution centers and the manufacturers and the warehouses where they put together the products for the most expensive brands, right? And they're explaining how these products are literally made like pennies on the dollar, and that we as consumers, hey, hold on. If you want to bypass the box, if you want to bypass the label, if you want to bypass all these middlemen, come on over. But what they fail to do first, I don't honestly listen. I don't want nobody's apology. I never want nobody's apology. If you apologize, that's something that's genuine. But I'm not ever going to ask anybody to apologize to me. But what I am going to say is, y'all have sat back for the last, 40, 50 fucking years, and you have seen us spend thousands upon millions upon trillions, and that's probably one of those black consumers that are a part of the number one spending group on the fucking planet. You mean to tell me that we have went into gosh darn debt behind fucked up products that we were chasing? Let me pause for a minute, because you got to remember, I was a teenager in the 90s. I remember watching Chicago kids losing their fucking lives about gosh darn Jordans. And I'm trying not to cuss because my mama be on here, okay? And I'm respectful, okay? But I saw children dying in the streets. I saw people standing in lines for technology that they was going to throw away and buy and replace for the next year. I saw so many people do dumb shit for something you're now telling us, we know you spend $1,000 on it, but it only cost us $50 to make. You sat back and watched capitalism fuck people up. And now that you and Trump are in a tiff, you want us. Why you didn't speak up some years back when you saw us struggling on eBay, or you saw us over here on Amazon trying to get businesses popping as small consumers, small businesses, small whatever we are. You saw us. You could. So, with that being said, with that being said, if anybody, you get your taxes right now, if you've made a sale in anything right now, and you got an inheritance right now, if you are a person who has any kind of business sense, one, you got two, a networking of friends that you can get you at least $2,000 or $3,000 with. Now, if you got 5 friends and you put enough money together and you send one person over there to be a buyer's agent over there in China, you go over there and you get to those manufacturers and you grab up all the stuff that you can get, and you go back to your local community and you make sure you tell them, I can go get this stuff on the low. I'm a buyer's agent for my community now. If you need some laundry soap, I got you. If you need some drawers, I got you. If y'all need some TVs, I got you. And not that I need to do anything one individual, because I don't need to make all the money by myself. But what I'm doing is I'm connecting with other small business owners in my community. Whatever supplies you need, we can get it together and you can get it for the low, because you are a service provider to the people. We are here to be of service, but the supplies we can get on the low. See, that's what they were missing. Oh yeah. If y'all really wanted to make some money though, because see, what they fail to realize is most of us been hustlers all our life. We was selling pops and we was selling candies. We was selling them in elementary school. Oh yeah. We was selling shoelacers. We was selling wrist popper bands in middle school. We was selling t-shirts. We was selling tickets to the after party, to the after. We was selling everything we could sell growing up all our lives. Somebody always had a burnt CD, a burnt DVD. Somebody always had it. So you can't tell us that we're not ingenuitive. You can't tell us we're not creative. And you sure can't tell us we are not hustlers. So we already know. If anybody can get their behind over there, go get the bag. Go get the bag. Go get the bag. And I'm not talking about go get the bag for me. I'm not selling no book about go get the bag for over there. And they telling you how to do it. They telling you to come pull up. And let me tell you, I am going to Thailand first. Let me put that on the record. I'm going to Thailand first. And the reason why I'm going to Thailand first is because that is the most loving country. They are called the land of smiles for a freaking reason. I'm getting up out of here. I got to break the curse of this. I got to have some, listen, because trolls pop up on here every day. I might as well be walking outside and chilling. I'm in Kansas. I can get up out of here. I'd rather go to the land of smiles right now. But with that being said, listen, if you catch me in China on one of these lives, you know I already said it. Just know I said it. Just know I said it. And I'll be a private agent. I'll be a private agent. I'll be a buyer agent over there. And if you didn't know the play is you go over to China. You walk through there, you get the things that you want customized, or you get it already pre-made, pre-boxed up, pre-ready to go, you know what I'm saying? And you ship it back to the United States. This is a personal shipment for you. It's not a business shipment, it's a personal shipment. You send it back as a personal item for yourself because there is no tariff on it. What up? If you don't have money, let's talk about it. If you don't have money, you need to find some people who also have just a little bit of money or some money to rub your money with. And you need to do more work than they do in some cases. Some footwork. You got to do some sweat equity. If you don't have as much cash, if you don't have as much liquid, you need to do more sweat. That's the exchange. I hear people all the time. I have a girl. So let me tell y'all, people walk up to me all the time, like, I saw your video. And most of the time they watch my singing videos. But people walk up all the time. So a girl comes up to me every freaking time I talk to her. And she's like, I still want to do the hair store. Okay, all right. So what'd you do? Well, I did this and I did that. All right. Okay, did you do that? No. Did you do that? No. Well, when I'm asking her about steps 1 through 3, them aren't the steps that she really did. She's over here looking to do things that really is wasting her money. So what I'm saying to you is, maybe there are certain aspects of the game that you really can't afford right now. Okay? So maybe you can't afford to go buy some product. Maybe you can't. Maybe you don't. And no, I don't do anything in my nose. It's just that I'm out here in the wind. It's slightly chilly and my nose is running. And I didn't bring no tissue. Okay. So anyway, if you don't have any money to get started, the first things that you need to take care of in your business is not product. You need to take care of steps 1 through 3. You need to go make sure that you're going to have your financial shit together. You need to make sure that you got your paperwork together. If you need an LLC, if you need to put together a declaration, if you need to put together a board, if you need to put whatever you need to do for your business, you need to put that part together, and you need to spend your money doing that part. But where you put in sweat equity is when all that stuff comes back over here that somebody shipped, that you working with as a partner. Your sweat equity is putting together those packages. You need to put the labels on it. You need to put it in the cellophane. You need to put it in the boxes. You need to count it up. You need to make sure it's packaged in the way that it's ready to go out. The sweat equity. The other part of it that takes time. You need to be ready to receive. You need to be ready to prepare it, and you need to be ready to get it shipped out. Whether you're shipping it over to Amazon as the FBA, or you're going to be shipping it over to TikTok shop, whatever, or you're going to be shipping it off to whomever, your local person who's doing any type of, I don't want to say like Ollie's, but somebody need to make something like Ollie's, because y'all need to get the bag right now. Everybody needs to get the bag. Let me also give a disclaimer. I come from a place where we get the bag. So I'm not asking nobody to give me no money because we get the bag. We work together. I come from an entrepreneurial family. My parents have been in business, over 25 years. All of my siblings have businesses. I have businesses. So I'm not asking anybody for money. What I'm telling y'all is, hell, I'll be honest with you, I'm going to do it myself. People with restaurants? Hey, my name is Latoriea Q. I'm getting ready to go over here to China. They are experiencing some tariff issues, and as I understand it, your business is not going to be able to get some of the products that you need. It's not only going to be a delay, but you overall may not be able to get this product, or you may have to pay 3 to 4 times more than you've ever paid for this product. What I'm going to do is I'm putting together a list order for some restaurants in my local community, and I'm going to go over here. If there's anything on this particular list that you will need, let me know. If you don't let me know before this particular date, I have to tell you that I have to add on for that as well, because I'm not prepared to send it back as my personal item. I just gave somebody $1 million. Easy. Do you I'll tell you how you can even know right now today. If you go to your Google, right? And you type in Asian store. Just Asian store near me. Whomever they are, whether they're Vietnamese, they're Laos, Cambodian, Japanese, Korean, Southeast Asian, Asia, whatever part of Asia they from, if there's an Asian store near you, and you go in there right now, go look at a pot. Go look at a pot right now. Then you look also on your phone. You go look at Amazon, you go look at eBay, you go look at any of these places with a pot on it. Same pot. Compare the price. What you're going to find out is that they go to Asia, they send them back as personal items, or they have someone sending it as a personal item, and they are marketing it for their community. You know why I know? Because I go in there regularly. You don't know why I know they don't get sick? Because food is medicine. You know what they're going to tell you? They're going to tell you what to eat. They're going to tell you what's best for you. You need to have some kimchi in your life every single day. You need some prebiotics and probiotics every single day, because food is medicine. And if y'all not catching this right now, the desperate times for somebody is the uncertain times for somebody else. And that dark place that someone thinks that is going to crash someone else out is that dark place where someone else gets to transform and become the best version of themselves. Because guess what? They are no longer looking at the distractions that was before them. My, these uncertain times. My. What someone thought was for your bad is now for your good. My. But you got to know how to use it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, my day is going wonderful. I am experiencing a deworming process right now. And I decided, instead of staying holed up in the house on my day off while I'm deworming, I'm going to go to the park. And instead of just sitting here and, well, I grounded today, so I came out here barefoot. It's a little chilly today. I should have did yesterday, but nonetheless, I'm just enjoying the day. And I hope anyone that is coming across this particular live is also enjoying their day as well. What else did we put on there? So yes, and be mindful. I feel like just as a business owner myself, and understanding the nature of, supply and demand, I think, while this is the shifting of the markets, just like in, 2000, what was that, 2007, 2008, 2012, 2013, the people who were in the markets at that time, who understood that if you understand the markets are going to get volatile, right? It's going to go up and down, down and up. It's definitely going to do that, right? But you position yourself to where no matter if it goes down or up, you win. That's the position you want to be in this situation, as just person to person, right? You want to be in the position of, no matter if it's whatever. I know it's bull or whatever the other one is, rush, whatever. But anyway, I'm getting the language mixed up, and I shouldn't be. No matter if it's the market is down or the market is up, if you position yourself, as in, if you go look at binary options, basically, go look at binary options. It's where you are taking risk in the stock of it going up or down, but you don't lose like someone who actually owns the stock. That's how you have to be in life in general with these dynamics, these type of, distractions, these type of spells that they're putting on us, you have to be able to see, okay, this is how it's moving. But no matter if it goes up or down, I can't be swayed by emotions. No matter if it goes up or down, I can't get caught up in, who likes me, who doesn't like me. I can't get caught up in who's left or who's right. I can't get caught up in who's Democratic, who's Republican. I don't give a fuck about all that shit. At this particular time, did y'all not realize we got children starving? We got children who are being uneducated and being left out on the streets because of parents who have drug problems and alcohol. We got bigger problems going on. I don't care what side it's on, but I have to be able to observe, and that's what I'm sharing with y'all. You got to be able to observe in these times, but don't be transformed by these times. Be transformed because of these times. So it's if you can see, and you can see you should be doing something right now, whatever that thing is that you've been putting off for a really long time, now is the time to do it. I'm gonna say that for whoever's listening, because that must be the message of the day. For whoever's listening, whatever it is that you've been putting off, whoever that is, whoever you are, I ain't got but 2-3 people up on here anyway. Whoever you are, you Go do that thing that you've been running from. Because the rest of us is waiting on you. The rest of us are waiting for you to plug in your frequency so you can be in position so the rest of everybody else can also get into alignment. Because yes, who you are, somebody's waiting on you. Somebody's waiting on you to do your purposeful thing. I had to figure that out for myself. So I became in alignment with the version of myself that was here for the purpose that I was sitting here for. It wasn't about my mom and my daddy. Listen, it don't even matter what they thought I came here for. That was cute, right? But the reason I really came here for ain't got nothing to do with them. Sorry. It don't. My purpose is between me and God. It ain't got nothing to do with them. My purpose is between me and my higher self. They ain't got nothing to do with them. And so until I come and I honor the contract that I have within myself to fulfill my purpose, things don't click the way that they're supposed to click. So I'm saying to you, whomever you are, you need to get in alignment with the things that you're supposed to be doing, because things don't click until you start clicking them. And people just don't start getting in place like that. It's because you spoke a word. It's because you were in a position or in a place and you shared something with someone. You made something. You did something. Whatever it is you were supposed to be doing, start doing it, because your running from it doesn't help you. Your fear of it doesn't help you. It's lowering your frequency. It's lowering the vibration. Whomever this is, whomever it applies to, get out of the lower frequencies and the lower vibrations. Stop feeling overwhelmed about shit you ain't supposed to be feeling overwhelmed about. Okay, cool. Your job, they get on your nerves, but you chose that job. Quit letting people make you feel overwhelmed. It's lowering your frequency in which, and in turn, you are not doing good to your tribe of people who are needing you to be in a higher frequency so all the work can get done. You need to be in position, honey. You need to be in position. I'm just the messenger on that one. I'm just the messenger on that one, baby. I don't know. I don't know who I'm talking to on that one. But I had to figure it out, because at the end of the day, let me tell you, I ran from things. The reason why I post myself singing on this thing here is not because I want to be seen or get famous. That's the last thing I want to do. I do not want to be famous, child. But what I tell you is I do have a creative vessel, and I have to get my creativity out. And so until I get the creativity or the creative aspect of myself in the behavior and doing that creative thing, I feel stifled. I feel overwhelmed. I feel like I didn't do my self-care. I feel like I'm battling conflicts of time. Like, do I do this or do that? When if I would have just sat down and journaled, if I would have sat down and just drew the picture, if I would have sat down and sang the song, I would have had that release of energy. I would have had that release of, whatever is holding in my body. Like, I can get it out now when I sing. So that's why I put music on. I don't do it I do it for fun. So, but I don't do it for that. So to anyone else, if you're at a point where you need to be creative, now is the time that you figure out that creative thing for yourself. Figure out that creative thing to do. Let it be your outlet. Let it be your self-care. Let it be that thing. You're not being selfish. It's just on your calendar now. It has nothing to do. See, listen, you know what? This one I know. I'm going to show y'all. When I get to talking, there's planes all the time. But anyway. And yes, they are military, just so you know. But if you can get your creative outlet going, right? You are able to tap into, it's a line, right? So we are so many layers of being, right? So let's say you're an artist and you need to have the pencil or the paintbrush, right? Those nerve endings in your arms connect to a nerve ending in your brain, right? In these nerve lines, in these wrapped muscles, there are energy codes and nodes along the way. In a scientific sense, they're called lymph nodes. But with that, that's how you can get a prick on your finger and your finger bleeds, or how you can get sweat underneath your arms. You have these different medians and modes in your body in which so much energy stirs up things whatever gets released is released there. Like if you poke here, it's going to be blood or plasma, but if you poke here, it's only just blood. Or if you poke under here, you're going to get lymphatic synovial fluid, I believe it is. Well, no, synovial's in the joints. But anyway, long story short, along your body, there are these meridian points and these nodes, and you have these energy signatures there, just as well as you have liquid there, just as well as you have skin there, just as well as you may have bone there, just as well as you have all these different layers of being, right? But we are talking about the layer of being that you can see of yourself. There's layers to you that you don't necessarily see. That's why you can be picked up on infrared. That's why you can be picked up on a satellite. That's why you can be picked up on different type of frequencies in which you may or may not know that you can be seen on, whether it's Wi-Fi or whatever it may be. That's why you can be seen in different capacities and different versions of yourself, whether you know it or not. But what happens if you can recognize the versions of yourself in frequency? And you can recognize yourself in frequency, and what is the purpose of the frequency? If you follow. That's why you deworm. That's why you debot. Because at the end of the day, we just not enough time to bullshit no more. You know, everybody has suits. And it's time to activate yourself if you are able to activate yourself. Period. That's it. That's all. If you can activate yourself and you understand yourself enough, it ain't even got you know how to know yourself all the way. Know yourself. That's why it is a thing in whether it's Sanskrit or it's in Buddhism or it's in knowing yourself. Even in Christian scripture, know thyself to be approved, a workman that need not be ashamed. Rightly divided by the word of truth, because you're following truth. So you can't get confused because you know yourself. You know what to follow. You know what path you're on. And if it don't sound right, it don't look right, it don't feel right, it may not got no truth to it. Leave it alone. That's not for you. You know how to get through things because you follow the truth. That's what this life is. You're supposed to know yourself. And knowing yourself means you have to know the aspects of yourself, even the ones that they see. Yes, government positions. Yes, they see you. They see you on infrared. They see you, like I said, in Wi-Fi. They see you in all these different. They see you in algorithms. They see us in every aspect of our life. There's no running from it unless you go off grid. Okay. So with that being said, you got to know yourself just as well someone else knows you too. But you have to know yourself on a spiritual, energetic sense, because that's what they see anyway. They've just used technology to see you. And you need to know where you're at. You need to know where you're at. Some stuff, I went for a long time not sure what to say online, what not to say online because of whatever. My background is I am a Wichita State University alumni. I studied in the liberal arts program. I have a degree in community psychology, but I also studied the different I don't want to say because I never got into cognitive behavioral, no matter how much trauma I really got into. I never really wanted to get into cognitive behavioral where I was doing talk therapy, because of how I saw trauma and the way that I address trauma. I don't think it's always safe for a person to rely on one person to be their person when it comes down to talk therapy. I think that's too much pressure for a therapist, especially if you are a person who is talking to people who have severe psychotic and severe mental health issues. To be their person is a very big task. And I just knew that I wasn't one person's person. So I do more group community psychology, and where I help groups and I study groups and how the movement of a group can impact the others. So with that, yes, it is exactly the thought that you're having. How can the group that I'm in, being a black woman, a African American woman, a uh, American African, whatever you want to call me. I'm a Blackfoot Indian. I'm Blackfoot Native from Mississippi. Not just because of any type of garb or clothing by blood. I'm a part of a bloodline. So I look at how we were treated. I look at how we were affected. We were once part of a tribe. So I look at things from a different perspective, put it like that. So why I'm always careful to make videos is because oftentimes the conversation becomes more in depth than the typical troll can handle. The conversation becomes more necessary, and unfortunately, not enough people take those type of conversations serious enough. So, in which it's almost like you're throwing pearl at swines, or you're just having conversations with the wrong people. So I choose not to have some topics online because, like I said, I don't have the energy or the capacity to hold it. That's not my purpose. So you so I understand that, and it's not for everyone. So I respect that, but in truth, you find that you're more held accountable when you're in a group. Someone is always looking for you to show up. Someone's always looking for you and concerned about your well-being. Um, someone is always, the compassion is always like moving around. Someone is always sharing compassion in a group. Um, but I always just feel like, having one person, not that there's anything wrong with it, but I myself could not be one person's person. I'm just saying that. I could not be. Aloha. Aloha. How you doing? How are you? I am sure it is so beautiful in Hawaii right now. But yes, so let me see, what else did I put up there? It was something else that I put up there. Um, yeah. So I have been going live more. Ooh, I've been going live more on TikTok lately. I'm trying to be more consistent. I hate the word trying, but I always use it when I am avoiding a task. I am posting on TikTok more often now, um, but the lives are a little bit different over there. It seems like it moves a little faster, and the technology is just slightly different. So if you're interested in getting in your digital bag, the in your digital bag is the um, the name that I have over there on TikTok. Y'all know I got a head injury, just bear with me. But anyway, I'm over there in your digital bag. It's me, yes. But over there, I just share a little bit different content. But with that being said, I also talk more about money over there. Over here, I talk about just life, current events, money, and healing thyself. That's the real talk. And also just creating a lifestyle for yourself in which you're able to be free. That's the purpose of this life, not just to be free in your mind, but even free in your body. So even traveling more. So just sharing more content over here that's more general, and over there more specific to entrepreneurs, business. If you are a holistic practitioner, if you are in the wellness space, you're a massage therapist, or any beauty or hair or anything like that. If you are a person who has a spa, a salon, a clinic, definitely getting into your digital products, getting into your digital bag That is another way to have a revenue stream. That's another way to get more clients. That's another way to just have more conversion, as well as have more people coming back, and you having that retention that you need in your business. So getting into the digital space, if you are even a brick and mortar business owner, I work with people who are just entrepreneurs, business owners, or anyone with content that they want to put out but they don't know what to do with it. I am not your personal teacher. I am your coach. But with that being said, I walk you through having a boss mindset and having a strategy that actually works for you, having a system that works for you, where you have accountability. Okay? Accountability is a very big word in business, because when we are business owners, we don't like nobody in our business. We don't want nobody in our business. We don't want anybody meddling and looking at what we are doing, not because it may not be right, but because we don't want someone to tell us what's wrong. And so having accountability is very important as a business owner. And I don't care who you are, where you from, or what you do, you have to have accountability. So yes, listen, if you are a person who has a business right now, you need to go on SAM.gov, SAM.gov, register your business. Now, I can hear some people from my community say, why would you want to do business with the government? Why would you want to do business with the government? Do you see who your president is? At this particular time, if you can commit to the next 10 years, just 10, of doing a legacy run, of doing a generational wealth run, just 10 years, commit to 10 years for your family. You commit to 10 years for your children, your children's children, and your children's children's children, and any children that they may have forward on and after. You commit to doing a run. And when I was an insurance agent, it used to be called Run to Daylight. If you can commit to running to daylight, that means you are going to catch daylight. The sun is going to come up on you. If you can commit to 10 years, I promise you, you will change the trajectory of so many generations after you, so many generations before you. You probably can heal your grandma and get her stress relieved, and you can get grandma blood pressure down and get grandma outside and get her feet in the sand. You can do so much for somebody. You can take auntie over there. You can take your cousins. You can do things with your family. You can do things with your friends. You can do things for yourself. You can do things with your children. You can do things and cause experiences to change the frequency, to change the atmosphere, to change your thought processes. Like when someone asks you what's your favorite meal, it's not going to think about the favorite meal, that... Like somebody asked me what's my favorite meal. My favorite meal is not anything I've ever had in the United States. Okay? My favorite meal is from a restaurant in Japan. I can tell you what we were doing walking up to the building. I can tell you what was outside of the building. I can tell you the details inside of the building. I can tell you the meal itself. I can tell you what I drank with the meal. I can tell you where everyone was sitting around me with this meal. This is the reason why it is my favorite meal. I was so involved in the consumption of this food. It was so delicious. It not only enriched my spirit, it enriched my taste buds. It enriched the people that were around me, because as soon as I bit into it, I was like, this is good. I remember it. Thank you. Gratitude. That's how you shift your energy. That's how you shift the frequency so easily. When you are struggling at any point in time, somebody has said they was over here struggling. If you ever are struggling with your mental health, go into the point where you say, what is my favorite food? That's mine. Like, what is my favorite food? When I have to say what is my favorite food, that means I am shifting. I am altering. I am moving myself out of this particular environment, spaces, like all the air that's up in here. My air has to change. And I don't match energy, baby. I don't match nobody's energy. What I do is I check my own energy first. And I remove myself from anywhere chaotic, period. And so if I have to ask myself, what is my favorite? Something must be going on with me. It used to be that if I got irritated, upset, I used to say, I'm going to go with it. I'm just going to go with it. But sometimes I found that my anger, my frustration, my overwhelm it will overtake. It will overtake. It will overtake, period. I don't even play with it. I don't even play with my own anger. Like, seriously. It takes a lot, and I don't even play with my own anger. So I just be like, let me remove myself. But I had to get to a point where, at any point where I feel like any level of agitation or any level of like, I could pop off, I have to go into what's my favorite meal. And I have to put myself in Japan. I got to put myself in Tokyo. Because in this room, no, that's not what you want. I had to learn that. But that may be what you have to learn for yourself in order to check your own energy, in order to check your own being, your own vessel. You may have to say things to yourself that trigger you in a different way. You may have to say things to yourself that, activates you on a higher level in a different way, because whatever you're doing, if it ain't working, now is the time to shift it. These uncertain times, these unknown times are going to cause transformations. Let your transformation be the transformation that you were purposed to be here for. We're here for a reason. I know my ancestors sent me here for an absolute reason. Now, when I was a child, I struggled with that reason. When I was a child, I was mad about that reason. You mean to tell me y'all got me here for this? Y'all got me here for this? I was mad as a child. I was too aware as a child. That is the downside of being very aware. It can cause you to have emotions that are almost overstimulating. I am not saying anyone has any excuse or reason to be angry, volatile, or, just all out having behavioral issues. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, if you are a child that has any type of awareness and you're born into a family, or you have any circumstance of foolishness, or you have somebody like predatory towards you, or you have any type of opposition, or you have anything that goes against what energetically is wrong, you can't communicate it, but you definitely can understand that something's not right. And unfortunately, we had a time when children were not able, they were told to be quiet. Children were not able to express themselves. If you were an 80s kid, 90s kid, you grew up in a time where expressing yourself was not very normal, because the adults was like, be quiet. Because they had to be quiet. But now we are in a different time. And the time is, you need to learn how to navigate your coping skills a lot better. You don't have the liberty of acting a fool anymore, because the consequences may be dire. You are at this time responsible for what you put in your mouth. You cannot blame Big Mama. You cannot blame your whomever that cooked certain things a certain way, and the way that they did it just was so, traditional and so good to you, that you are not willing to understand that it's no longer healthy. These are the times now where you need to learn yourself. These are the times now where you need to take into consideration what you really need in these moments and give it to yourself, because there may be a time or a day where you need the tool, you need the experience, or you need the opportunity, and you didn't give it to yourself now when it was free to get. We are in uncertain times. We are in uncertain times. And so now is the time, those things that you've been saying to yourself that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to create, not just business. Let's not even just say business. But for some people, if you're wanting to create workshops, if you're wanting to create a course, if you're wanting to create a book, if you're wanting to create a movie or app or whatever it is that you have been contemplating, you have been planning, you've been summarizing in your mind, you've been trying to put together the pieces of how can you make things navigate, you've been understanding and looking for who to network with, you've been trying to see what spaces and organizations you need to apply yourself to. This is the time now to take all the research that you've done, stop doing research, and go do. This is the time of the doers. The opportunity to research, sit on your butt, to no longer, take action. No, because those who take action quickly will be rewarded. That's what I just heard. Those who take action will be rewarded. You got to move quickly, though. Those who take action quickly will be rewarded. I had to get it right. Those who take action quickly will be rewarded. That will be on my Facebook post later. But with that, the reason why is if you move quickly, first come, first serve. The early bird gets the worm. What other cliche do you need to hear to know that, you can pick up momentum really, really fast when you just start doing? That's the same like if you get really busy doing work, right? And you're sitting at your computer or you're actually laboring doing something. And then you look at the clock and you're like, oh man, 2 hours, 3 hours went by so fast, right? Or you're sitting somewhere being idle and you look at the clock and it seems like in this space of time, and it was like, man, that was only 15 minutes. That 15 minutes can feel like an hour, right? But that hour feels like 15 minutes when you are really being productive, when you are really engaged in what your purpose is for the day. I love my friends, right? So I had a friend call me yesterday and she was so upset. She was so upset about the business that she's in and the employment that she has and all these things. And she wanted me to listen to her. And I was like, girl, you need a therapist. I said this to my friend. Like, my friends know that I appreciate being direct and I appreciate them being direct with me. So I love my friend and I know she wanted me to listen because she told me, she says, no, I want you to listen. And I said, all I can do is hold the mirror up to you. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I don't know what you want to hear, but all I can do is hold the mirror up to you. And she said, that's fine. So she talked. Halfway through her conversation, I was like, you know what? This conversation alone is why I don't fill out job applications. This just gives me hives altogether. I don't know why anyone will choose to stay in an environment that makes them feel so uncomfortable. I don't know why anyone would sit in an environment where they are not respected. I don't know how anyone can sit in an environment giving all their time, giving all their energy, all your skills and your capacity. You work for this place. And you gonna complain. And she says, well, what do you mean I'm complaining? You chose it. Let's say it was a man this woman was talking about. Thank God it's not. She has a wonderful husband, so do not get this confused or misconstrued, right? But if I had a single girlfriend call me and say, girl, this man, he getting on my nerves. He done did this, he done did that, he done did this. I'm going to have to tell her, girl, listen, first of all, we can't have this conversation because that's not my man. I didn't choose him. You are. So the energy that you are resonating with is the energy that you need to keep over there. That is not anything that I welcome over here. But I had to say it out loud to her for my whole body to just really get in tune with what I just said. Because meanwhile, as she's talking, I'm just like, oh my, because we're on the phone, she can't see me. So I'm over here squirming like, oh, I hate this conversation. She knows if she watched this video, she wouldn't even care that I said it. But she knows that I would not like that she's complaining about a job. Period. Now, I'm not saying people don't have to work. But what I'm saying is, you chose the job. Same as you chose the man. If you don't like it, if you don't like him, if you don't like her, remove yourself from the situation and do it safely. Because that ain't my problem. Because I don't have the liberty, I'm sorry to tell y'all, I don't have the liberty to call anybody and say, this is what happened. I got to have my own therapist, truth be told. But I'll tell you who that is in a minute. Then I'm going to get up off here. I don't have anyone to say, this is what I just heard. This is so overwhelming to me. Because my therapist already knows. So all I can say is, what am I going to do to change my situation? What am I going to do to elevate the position that I'm in right now? Or how can I use this position right now for my good? You have to learn how to navigate within yourself the things that you need so your brain can be calm, the things that you need so you can be focused, the things that you need so the things that come out of your mouth make sense, the things that you need so your heart can be pure, it can be light, it can be functional. You're not having heaviness, you're not having stress, you're not having clogs, you're not having any type of resistance in your body. You're able to open up your lungs and your spaces. You're able to digest your food. You have to be in alignment with yourself in the coming days, in the coming years, in the coming time, because we are shifting. And I don't know if y'all know anything about this particular world, but they all do magic. They all do rituals. They are all into some type of crafting. Matter of fact, you are too. You were crafted to be here. Yes, I said it. You were crafted to be here. And the reason why you are here, it is purposeful, because obviously your ancestors tagged you in. So at this particular point, it is up to you to know yourself. It is up to you to heal yourself. It is up to you to get in tune with the vibrations and the purpose, the being, the light, the reason you are here. It is up to you to seek the knowledge to liberate yourself. And personally, they keep giving us some alley-oops. Because what they mean for our downfall is for our good. Don't you know? Down is up and up is down. But what I do, and I suggest to anyone who can, and then I'm getting off of here, these are the times that you find you a big mama. Okay? Now, my big mama just happens to be my mama. Okay? My mom and I can share in conversations that are adult. And we can also share in conversations to where I know she's not judging me, and I know she knows I'm not judging her. We can honestly sit woman to woman, and I see myself in my mother, and my mother sees herself in I, and we are able to have an exchange in which we heal one another. She heals the woman that I'm becoming, and I heal the girl that she used to be, because I am the experience of her youth, right? And so my mother is whom I confide in. But what I say to you, especially if you are a woman, I can't say that I'm talking to many men on this thing, but what I am saying, if you are a woman and you are coming into a time now where you want to make a change in your life and you want a dramatic change, now is not the time for you to go seek girlfriends. Now is the time for you to go seek elder women. This is the time for you to go sit with the elders. This is the time for you to go sit at the feet of women who have wisdom. This is the time for you to sit at the feet of women who have displayed courage. This is the time for you to sit with women who have become strategic over time because they have navigated through different phases of life. This is the time for you to do that, because if you can take the wisdom that they've already experienced and you put it into your vision and your vessel, when you take what they give you and you put it together with what you've already been supplied with and what you've put together for yourself, and you carry it on, you will have the stories, you will have the essence, you will have the femininity, you will have the support of, you will have the encouragement of women who are elder, who are supplying you with grace, They supply you. So when you age gracefully because you've been adorned by wisdom of women of age. Do you understand? Now is the time for you to tap into your purpose and you get around these women who can pour into you, not only spiritually, not only emotionally, but they pour into you so you can understand how to heal the woman in you yourself that you hurt. You need to know how to ask your womb, your mind. You need to know how to ask your heart, forgive me. Forgive me. And if you don't know what I mean, you ain't maybe lived. But if you a woman and you have lived, and I don't mean just live, but child, I mean you did some living. You get to your point where you say, I'm above that now. Well, you need to go over and ask you for forgiveness. Girl, I put you in situations I didn't have no business putting you in. I didn't introduce you to this man that put a hex on us. We are forgiving ourselves and breaking all ties. We break all curses. We break all unions. Get all of that off of you. You got to ask your heart, forgive me for sharing you with someone who didn't respect you. Forgive me for putting you in a place of having to consider others before considering yourself. And when I was left in any capacity, not feeling myself, I blamed myself for something I had no reason, no burden to carry. I forgive myself. Forgive me. Forgive me for thinking things I ain't have no business thinking. Forgive me for putting my mind in businesses that didn't have nothing to do with me. Stressing myself over things that had nothing for me. These are the days where you get the energy off of you of the old so you can embrace the new. Forgiving yourself. Get around someone who's got some wisdom and they don't mind sharing it with you. Get around someone who understands that the generation of now and the ones that are coming, it's going to be a different world. It's going to be different. But you need to know now how to maneuver in it. So everything that you were supposed to be doing, whomever I was talking to, whatever it is that you were supposed to be doing, now it's time to do it. You've done all the research that you were supposed to do. And the phrase or the mantra of the day is, those that do quickly get rewarded. So whatever you're supposed to do it quickly. So I will be checking in a little bit. Like I said, I've been taking my ivermectin. It is now 3 o'clock. So I've had ivermectin. I took it at 11:30 a.m. today. So far, I feel great. I don't know what I thought. For some reason, I thought I was going to be like doubled over the toilet or something. But I was like, I'm getting out of the house and I'm coming outside. So far, so good. I still tasted it though. So, well, thank you for joining. Let me go back and read it. Yes, exactly, Justin. Exactly. Justin said, I read something that said your boss or that person don't make you mad or frustrated. Those are all internal feelings. We have total control of those things. No one makes us angry or frustrated. No one can. I promise you. And I need someone to like reclaim their power. Like if you say, ooh, they made me so mad. Ooh, they made me so irritated. Ooh, they bothered me. Ooh, they got me da-da-da-da-da. You're claiming and you're claiming, like proclaiming and you're claiming, right? That this person has power over your mind. They have power over your emotions. They got power over your behaviors. You're saying that you no longer have control of who you are. And 9 times out of 10, if they're your boss and they have control over your time or your paycheck or your output in work, yeah, they are definitely controlling you because you have given a corporation the permission to rule over you within so many parameters. And that person is operating in the parameters that you gave the company permission to let them do. They just doing their job. Long story short, they're doing their job. They getting paid to bother you. Now go work. Like my friend yesterday, she was like, I'm a boss. No, you're not. If you don't own your own business, if you ain't writing your own checks, if when you go to the bank, they ain't saying hey to you by name, they not recognizing you and respecting you and putting some respect on your name at the bank, baby, you ain't no boss. I promise you they ain't. You ain't no boss. I promise you you ain't. If you can't walk right now into a bank and says, my name is on a business, you are not a boss. Period. That's just like saying, if your name is not on the deed to a home, you are not the owner. Moving on. You can't claim something you're not. So for all you people who are saying, I'm a boss, I'm a boss, I'm a boss, put your paperwork up. Quit claiming energy of something that you're not. You're not. That's the day and times that we're in. And these days and times, you're going to get called out by the truth. Hey! By the truth. The truth knows how to decipher. The truth has discernment. The truth knows that it cannot be fooled. You can't fool the truth. It don't matter what you say. You can twist and turn facts, because one fact today may not be the fact tomorrow. But you cannot deny the truth. It just is. I don't care what language you say that in. These are the times, y'all, where we have to really be in tune. Cat Williams used to say in a joke that he had that you have to be in tune with your star player. Now is the time for you to be in tune with your star player. And I'm not talking about, dolling up this meat suit. They want you to be so fooled about putting on all this stuff in our, it doesn't matter how much makeup you wear. It doesn't matter what brand you wear. It doesn't matter what you have in your household at this particular point. That's what they're trying to expose to everyone. If you are still caught up on any particular person because of what they have on, what they're driving, what particular house that they live in, you are a fool. And the reason why they are showing it to you is because they have to. They have to. But what will also happen is there is a facade that is going to shift. When the masses get into this whole TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram money, and everybody gets up on the money, $10,000 right now is the easiest amount of money to make. You just need to do what you were supposed to do to get it. Are you hearing me? So if you at a job and you are saying, if I could just make $3,000 this month, if I can just make $2,000 this month, if I can just make whatever $1,000 this month, if it ain't above 10, you really are cheating yourself at this point. If you are showing up for $15, $20, $25, $30 an hour, you're cheating yourself. I can tell you right now that I used to feel very proud of myself when I could say I made more than $100 an hour. Now, don't get it wrong. I'm a massage therapist, so I don't make that much every hour, right? But when I became able to say that, I was really proud, because I remember being a kid being like, oh, I want to make $100 an hour. Not that that even mattered, because what I knew at that time was doctors made a lot of money. So what I want to tell you is, at this particular point, how the money market is about to move, even for just general people on even social media. $10,000 is about to be easy bag money. Easy money. And if you don't know how to get the first 10,000 in the easiest way possible, when the market really shifts and China is saying to you, we sell this for 50 cents, and they sell it to you over here for $5, and now we know you got the $5, now you can pay $10 for it. Now you can pay $20 for it. You got to know how to position yourself right now. That's what's coming. That's what's coming. If you're already complaining about eggs, if you're already complaining about gas, and you ain't even broke $10,000 a month yet, get out of your pride. Go do whatever it is you was told to go do by your spirit guides, your inner intuition, your knowledge, your skills, your trade, whatever it is. You need to go and create yourself a bag, because $10,000 is about to be easy money for some Americans. And you know how it goes in a capitalistic world, in a capitalistic country. You know the rent gonna go up, the food prices is gonna go up. The tariff thing is just something that they put in for us to have a little chatter about. That's a distraction. The real money bag is Americans are making money, and Americans are leaving regular jobs because they started finding out how to make money on the internet, and they started making money from their phone. So you don't even have to show up at work. You see, I'm sitting, well, I got a job, I got a business. But on days like this, I'm live. Why am I live? Because I know that is where income stream is at. And I'm saying it to you. If you don't know how to digital market, how to get a digital product, how to put together a community, how to put together any type of ebook, AI, whatever it is under the sun that is available to you at your fingertips. I don't know everybody's resources. I don't know what everybody has. But what I'm saying to you, if the creator in you has something to put out, now is the time to put it out. And using the digital marketplace is the place for you to do it and make a lot of money. And if you can commit to it for the next 10 years, 10 years, an average job that has good benefits and pay wants you there for 20 years. So don't frown your face up at me and tell me you can't stay online for 10 years, where you can't make a newsletter for 10 years, where you are not willing to put together anything for a consistent time frame of 10 years. Don't tell me that, because you've been working your behind off for the last 10 years at a company that I guarantee you, if you walk in there today and you put your feet up on the desk and you tell them that you're not feeling very well, but you're just here to collect some money, they're going to fire you. So what I'm telling you is, if you get to a point where you're really ready to make some money from home, where the days you don't feel good, if you want to sit your behind in the bed and you want to get on your phone and do, you made 3 to 5, 6, 7 second videos. You put your phone back down, roll back over. Y'all see, I was 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I just needed to make a video for today. If y'all don't go get this money, you think I'm crazy. Y'all go look at it now. I had, I think, 14, 15 days running of landing on the pinky. If they say make the content for the purpose of you getting the money to have the freedom that you want, how many fingers I'm supposed to have up, right? I'm not shading anybody who gets on here and dances. I'm not going to listen. However you get your bag off these social media streets, get your bag, because at the end of the day, when it's all shut down anyway, if you don't own your own community, if you don't own your own email market, if you don't own all your stuff anyway, you wasted your time on here. For all the people that are on your Facebook, if you have 10,000 people on your Facebook, but you don't have not one of their email addresses, you ain't did nothing. You're not a boss. You're not doing nothing. The name of the game is, when they pull the plug on all this internet stuff and all the social media stuff and all the technology stuff, because you know they got to send us back into time a little bit. When the plug gets pulled, because y'all know at some point it's going to get pulled and reset, right? If you don't know that, yeah. So whatever it resets, right, you're not going to own your stuff. That's why TikTok did the first run through. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them fool you. The first run through was TikTok. And the only thing I can tell you coming out of that is, if you don't own your subscribers, if you don't own your followers, if you don't own any of your content, you basically are at their mercy. And at their mercy means you're out. So now is the time, if you are a business owner. For instance, I talk to massage therapists, and People got to get out of the way of, I don't want to sell products. I don't want to be online. I don't want to offer that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this. Listen, there's a lot of things that people don't want to do and they do every single day, right? But if you can find a way to create a product that you find interest in and you can continue to make series of products behind it, that is what you should be doing. For instance, I'm making my own product now. I have an app available on my website, but it's for my brick and mortar local clients. Um, it's iLift Transformations for Life, in which I go through. It's an actual lifetime program, but it's in which where we go through different points of, addressing who you are. What is your identity, and why do you hold on to the stress and the tension and the goals, the visions? Why do you hold on to the image that someone else programmed you with? In order for you to have the greatest transformation that you've ever wanted to have, you need to know who you are, what your core purpose is, and what are some markers or some identifiers that you will see along the way that confirm or correct you as you are going through this life. Because if you know who you are, what you're supposed to be doing, what direction you're supposed to be going, you know when you go in the wrong direction, what things are not supposed to look like, so you know when to immediately turn around. This is not for you. This is not your area. When you can understand how to really navigate those particular things, what really is here for you, this world is magical. That's what they don't want us to know. This is a very magical world. And it's not that it's Mary Poppins magical. It's not Bewitched magical. It's not any of that type of magic that they wanted to put in our faces like that. The type of magic that it is that the words that come out of your mouth, the writing that you can do with the pen, those are the words that you speak, and those are the things that you put over yourself. Those are the spellings that you have. Those are the sounds that you put out. And nothing can come back to you without a reverberation. So what you put out as far as sound has to come back to you. Now, how far it goes and how much it impacts and how much shaking and rumbling it can do, that's up to you. But I tell you what, if you use your voice properly and you use your pen properly, you can change your life. And with that being said, I've been on here almost 90 minutes, child. And I gotta go. But, like I said, I've been taking this ivermectin, and I don't know why I don't know. Is it weird that I was expecting my stomach to rumble? Is that weird? Is that weird? I didn't want bubble guts. Like, that's not what I'm asking for. But what I was looking for was this, like, overwhelming sensation of my body is purging. It's not. Maybe in a few hours. But I don't know. I don't know if I was expecting even to see a worm. I don't know what I'm expecting. I know that sounds weird. Maybe it's not, but I don't know what I expect to see. I have done the foot bath detox. Has anybody done that before? The foot bath detox, where they have the ions in the bath water and it sends the electrodes like around, and it pulls all the negative ions and the negative toxins out of your body. Has anybody done that before? Now, I've done that before. Let me tell you, I've done it twice. The first time, I don't think I really had an experience with it. Like, it was just like, okay. But then the second time I had it, I remember it more pronounced, because when the lady came back in the room, she was like, ooh. The lady was like, and I was like, when you don't want somebody to be like, dang, that's funky, or you stink, yeah, my foot detox was a little rough. It had toxins in it, okay? I have some viruses that was coming out of my body. So with that being said, I said, let me go about this a different kind of way, because she's not gonna make me uncomfortable about detoxing my body. But it was on me. It's something I took personal, but definitely I have done that, and I do encourage people to do that. I'm also gearing up to a colonic But I'm gearing up for that. Not because I need to, but this will determine if I need to. Put it like that. So I took the ivermectin to flush my body and to get any of those tapeworms, ringworms, and bots. Which, when I saw bots on the box, BOTS on the BOXS, on the BOX, excuse me, I was actually shocked. I was shocked that it cleans bots. And I know bots not in necessarily like nanotechnology bots, but bots. So if you don't know, or if you believe you may have bots in your body, now is the time for you to detoxify and deworm yourself. But again, I am not a physician. I am not anyone's medical professional advising them to go and take ivermectin. So I appreciate everyone that came to hang out with me today. Do y'all not know? Sometimes I get anxiety even thinking about doing a live. Simply because I think it's weird to sit and talk to your phone, and not actually have like someone in person. But I love the engagement part of it. I appreciate that. Thank you. But I like the engagement, the connection, especially being that I'm pretty social where I live at. So, yeah, I don't mind talking. Most people know that. I don't mind being social. So, thank you, DW. What is up, Lords? 254, thank you. So, hey, thank you for joining me today. Hot Rod 76, what is going on? Stephen Renner, hey. R. John Reddy, what's up? Wilton, thank you. Thank you for joining me today. Mario Lazarevsky, Lazarevsky. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. Hey, thank you for joining me today. Kathy, hey again. Thank you for joining. John, Justin, thank you for joining. MH, Mike B, thank you for joining as well today. Rain, Shane, Mitchell, thank you for joining. Irish Jimmy, thank you for joining today. And King God, thank you again. Very good exchanging with you today. RP Fragrance. At this time, no. What I would like to learn, if I could learn any other language right now, is Creole. So thank you for joining today. Lion Zion, thank you for joining today. The Word of Elijah, thank you for joining today. I appreciate each and every one of you. Pot of Gold. I can get my list. I can read. Pot of Gold 40. Thank you for joining today. The Real from earlier today, thank you for joining. Zaquani. I am from Mississippi. If I said that too country for you, I apologize. I know that sounded kind of country, but that looks like a name that one of my cousins would have gave one of their babies. I'm just saying, Zaquani. I hope that I did not butcher that. Maria, hey girl. Shaki, thank you for joining. Muhammad Usman and Vanilla Gorilla, thank you guys again. I appreciate all of y'all joining me today. It was good connecting. I see. Hey Anthony, how you doing too? Anthony Kago, thank you for joining. See, y'all make me feel so much better when I come out. DK Rooster, what it is. Thank you for joining me today. Sometimes I run away from this phone. I'm like, I'm not going live. I do not have time for the trolls. I do not have time for the ignorance and the skedaddle. I don't. But y'all make a girl feel special when I turn this phone on. But I appreciate it because it feels like that there are other people out here that are on the frequency and they resonate. And I know I'm not crazy because this world is ready for the movers and the shakers. The world is ready for, honestly, can I tell y'all who I am? Like, the world is ready for those of us who have been hiding in the shadows. Those of us who have been watching people in the forefront Not about limelight at all, but watching people who wanted to take control or wanted to have direction or wanted to move things in a way that we all know is not right and we all know is in violation of all of us. And because, we wanted to just be with our family, be with our friends, and not be bothered, whatever, running away from being on social media, things like that, I feel like some of us just didn't know others like us was really out here. So I look for people, or I connect with people who really keep to themselves, don't bother nobody, mind their business. People who have good energy, are not just friendly to be around, but people who keep it real and they are very raw, and you don't need to impress anybody to be influential. I'm just one of them people who just turn on my phone and I just have a good day and I connect. So that's who I look for. I don't look to bother nobody. I don't want to hurt nobody. I don't want to say nothing crazy to nobody, but I will. But just, I like connecting with others. So the next time you see me go live, you know what to do. Come on back. Bye, baby.